Hi students, welcome to online class. So in this video we are going to discuss about chapter 2 data abstraction. In that we are going to see about the representation of abstract data type using rational numbers. So representation of abstract data type using rational numbers. So that is what we are going to see. So the basic idea of data abstraction is to structure programs so that they operate on the abstract data. So what is the main idea of data abstraction? The data abstraction is a powerful concept. It is created only with the help of abstract data type ADT. So the same thing they are saying here. The data abstraction technique is operated through the abstract data. That is, our programs should use data in such a way as to make as few assumptions about the data as possible. See, we should not take the original thing. We should not take a real thing. Sometimes we want to go for an assumption. The values should be taken as an assumption. So that is what here they are saying. The data in such a way, the programs should use the data in such a way as to make as few suggestions about the data. At the same time, a concrete data representation is defined as an independent part of the program. What is meant by concrete data representation? Concrete data representation means the data which is represented in a realistic manner. Those particular data are known, right? Any program consists of two parts. How many parts it contains? The program contains two parts. What are they means? First part is the part that operates on the abstract data. Abstract data means where the data is taken as an assumption. And then the part that defines the concrete representation. So both the values will be there. One is an assumption value and another one is a real value. It is connected by a small set of functions that implements the abstract data in terms of concrete representation. So using the function we are going to apply both the things. One is the abstract data representation and another one is the concrete data representation. Both of them are created are implemented, are executed in one particular function. So to illustrate this technique, let us consider an example to design a set of functions. We are going to design a function for manipulating the rational numbers. So in this particular function, we are going to work with the abstract data representation, that is assumption values. And then we are going to work with the concrete data representation also. Right. Let's see the example. What is mean by a rational number? A rational number is a ratio of integers. And a rational number consists of important subclass of real numbers. See, just we want to take two numbers. When we divide those two numbers, one number should be taken as a numerator and another number should be taken as a denominator. Whenever I go with the division, I will get one result. I will yield one result. So a rational number is a ratio of integers and rational numbers constitute an important subclass of real numbers. A rational number such as 8 divided by 3 and 19 divided by 3, that is slash 8/3 or 19/3 is typically written as numerator / denominator. Right, in the lower classes itself you might have studied, right? Both the numerator and the denominator are the placeholders for integer values. They are called placeholders. What is meant by placeholders? The values will be holded in one particular place. So it is used to hold the value. So that's why they are called it as placeholders. Both parts are needed to exactly characterize the value of the rational number. So without denominator we cannot do anything. Without numerator also we cannot do anything. Rational number means simply we can say in mathematics a number which the denominator number should not be 0. The denominator number should not be 0. So that is called rational number. So here also the same thing, but here they are saying about in rational numbers both the numbers are needed, both the values are needed. We cannot work with only one value. Without one value we cannot go for any calculation, right? Without denominator the numerator does not works. So like that. Actually dividing integers produces a float approximation, losing the exact precision of integers. You take a simple example. When you divide 4 by 2, what will happen? 2 2s are 4. There is no need to go with point something values, floating point value. But when the number 5 is divided by 2, 4 is divided by 2 means 2. But when 5 is divided by 2, we get 2.5. Is it right or not? Yes. Why we are getting a floating point value? 5 is an integer, 2 is also an integer, but we are getting the float value as a result. So sometimes it may happen. Sometimes it may happen. So that is what here they are saying. Whenever we divide integers, it will produce, sometimes it will produce float approximation. Right. You can create an exact representation of rational numbers by combining together the numerator and the denominator. So we want to combine the numerator and denominator for getting a rational number. Right. As we know from functional abstractions, we start programming productively before you have an implementation of some parts of our program. Let us begin by assuming that you already have a way of constructing a rational number from a numerator and a denominator. You can also assume that given a rational number, you have a way of selecting its numerator and its denominator component. So again they are explaining the same thing only. Whenever we assume a particular number, whenever we are constructing the rational number, so how we are constructing the rational number? From the numerator and denominator we are able to construct the rational number. Sometimes if you assume, you are also assuming that given a rational number, you have a way of selecting the numerator and its denominator component. Whenever you go with the result alone, how can you go with the question? So through the result we can find out that this may be the numerator, this may be the denominator. Is it right or not? When we have numerator and denominator, we can construct a rational number. When we have the rational number, from that we can find out that this may be the numerator, this may be the denominator. So that's how it gives this particular rational number. So like that they are explaining here. Let us further assume that the constructor and the selector are also available. We are using here a powerful strategy for designing the programs. What is the powerful strategy? Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is one of the powerful strategy. Where it was used means it was used for designing the programs. And then another thing you should understand that we have not yet said how a rational number is represented. We are not discussing about how the rational number is represented or how the constructor and selector should be implemented. We are not giving any step-by-step procedure, or we are not explaining about the constructor and the selector. how the constructor and selector should be implemented for rational number. Like that we are not discussing, right? What is mean by wishful thinking? Wishful thinking means it is the formation of beliefs. It is the formation of beliefs and making decisions according to what might be pleasing to imagine instead of by appealing to reality. Instead of going in a realistic manner, we are thinking that whenever we are doing this, it will be a pleasing one, it will be a good one. And then we want to take a decision based on that, which will be good, which will be very pleasing, which will be correct thing. So like that, based on this we are taking a decision instead of going in a realistic manner. So this is what they used to call it as a wishful thinking. Right. Now we can see an example for rational numbers. So for rational numbers, we are going to see about the numerator and denominator. Let us take a rational number. So before that, rational ND, this is the function. So this is called the constructor. So which is called the constructor? Rational n comma d. So rational is a function that contains two parameters. One is called n comma d and another one is called d. N stands for numerator and d stands for denominator. So here rational is the constructor that constructs a rational number with numerator n and denominator d. So now we are going to, after creating the constructor, we want to go with the selector. What is selector? Here the selector, numerator of x, NUMER, that is numerator of x, which is used to return the numerator of the rational number x. And then what about DENOM? DENOM of y, that stands for denominator of y. It is used to return the denominator of the rational number y. So here in this example, an abstract data type for rational numbers. An abstract data type for rational numbers is explained here. From this example you can understand, which is called the constructor. So rational NDT, n comma d, rational n comma d is called the constructor, whereas numerator of x, denominator of y, that represents the selectors. Right. Now you have the operations on rational numbers defined in terms of selector functions, numerator and denominator. So from this you can understand, using the numerator function and denominator function, we can find out what are the operations they are going to do. And at the same time, the constructor function rational, but you have not yet defined these functions. Simply I am just giving, this is the constructor, this is the selector, that's all. I am not explaining about the constructor function. I am not implementing the constructor function and selector function. What you need is some way to glue together a numerator and a denominator into a compound value. So what we want to do? We want to combine all together. We want to combine all together and then we want to find out the rational number. Right. Let's see a pseudocode for the representation of rational number for the using the constructor and selector. So we are going to create the pseudocode for the representation of rational number using the above constructor and selector. Right. Let's see the example. So here x comma y becomes here you see colon equal to, what is meant by colon equal to? This symbol represents assigned as, or it is called becomes. So x comma y is assigned as 8 comma 3. Now what is the value of x? So x value is 8. What is the value of y? So y value is 3. So x comma y is assigned as 8 comma 3. Then what about the next? Rational. Here rational is the constructor function n comma d. Numerator comma denominator. Then now what I am doing? So numerator of x divided by numerator of y. So I am just dividing numerator of x. Numerator of x is the selector function. And then numerator of y is the selector function for denominator of y. So it is printed in a wrong manner. You just change it. Numerator of x slash denominator of y. Numerator of x slash denominator of y. You change it in your book as well as you change it in your content. So what will be the output? 8 divided by 3. So what is happened here? The output is shown as 2.6666. So like that it goes on, right? So I think you might have understood this video. So this is about the representation of rational number. We are going to represent the rational number in ADT through the constructor and selector, right? So thank you students. Let's end the class.